Welcome to Friday, everybody. Another week almost done. You got one more day to go, then we get the weekend. I'm looking forward to a decent weekend. I got some work to do, but hopefully I'll get it done. Should be relaxing enough. Got some save the dates to pass out. Whew, wedding's coming soon. Um, so we're just gonna get into it today. Friday. Today is the. I think we are officially past the halfway point of Exodus today. I think. Okay, so sorry. Officially, it was yesterday because we read the first verse of chapter 21 at the end of yesterday's video. Now we have the first full story of chapter 21. So I'm going to say today is the official, past halfway point of Exodus. And I can't believe that already. I mean, I feel like we just started Exodus and the whole story of Moses, and here we are already over halfway through the whole book of Exodus, let alone Moses' story. It's crazy how fast these go, and I'm doing them. But I still like doing them. Still fun. And I think the Ten Commandment video was a pretty big hit, but I know yesterday's and probably some of these next few won't be the most popular, but they're in the Bible. I'm recording them because, you know, they're important and we need to know them. So, having said that, let's see what Hebrew servants is about today. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he is to serve you for 6 years, but in the seventh year he shall go free without paying anything. If he comes alone, he is to go free alone. But if he has a wife when he comes, she is to go with him. If his master gives him a wife, and she bears him sons or daughters, the woman and her children shall belong to her master, and only the man shall go free. But if the servant declares, I love my master and my wife and children, and do not want to go free, then his master must take him before the judges. He shall take him to the door or the doorpost, and pierce his ear with an awl. Then he will be his servant for life. If a man sells his daughter as a servant, she is not to go free as male servants do. If she does not please the master who has selected her for himself, he must let her be redeemed. He has no right to sell her to foreigners, because he has broken faith with her. If he selects her for his son, he must grant her the rights of a daughter. If he marries another woman, he must not deprive the first one of her food, clothing, and marital rights. If he does not provide her with these three things, she is to go free without any payment of money. So, kind of more rules about Hebrew servants in this one, and obviously different time, um, different scenario, having servants, everything like that. Um, and honestly, I don't know enough about this topic to go in depth with it. I know that it happened. There were servants. Um, Obviously, we've been reading about all of them in all the way through the Bible so far. Everybody's had some servants. What was it back with like Zilpah and Bilhah, who were the two like maid servants for each? Was it Jacob and Esau? No, who was it? I forgot. I already forget. I have to go back and figure it out. But they were servants, and then they were treated as equals, I think, or at least when they had kids by them, possibly. Maybe not. Maybe this is what changes that. So, um, you can read over this again if you want. Kind of an interesting story, and then tomorrow's is also going to be a little bit of an interesting one. Um, but the servant declares, "Let the master remove his children to go free." Interesting. Okay, if he comes alone, he is okay. You buy a Hebrew slave, serve 6 years, go free in the seventh year without paying anything. Simple enough. Verse. Second, well, technically verse 2. If he comes alone, he has to go free alone. But if he has a wife when he comes, she has to go. So if he has a wife before he becomes a servant, then after his 6 years, she is to go with him. His wife is to go with him. But if the master gives him a wife after he becomes a servant and she bears him sons or daughters, the woman and her children shall belong to the master, and then only the man, the servant, shall go free after the 6 years. And then if he declares that he loves all of them and doesn't want to go free, he must go before the judges with his master, pierce his ear with an awl. I believe that's a kind of tool. then he will be a servant for life. So if he chooses to love the woman and his kids and his master, he will be a servant for life. If a man sells his daughter as a servant, she is not to go free as male servants do. If she does not please the master, so if a female becomes a servant, she is not to go free as male servants do. Does that mean she's automatically a servant for life, or is it up to the master after a certain point? If she does not please the master who has selected her for himself, he must let her be redeemed. He has no right to sell her to foreigners because he has broken faith with her. If he selects her for his son, he must grant her the rights of a daughter. Okay, so then if he wants the female servant to be married to his son, then she must be granted the right of a daughter, not a servant. And if he marries another woman, he must not deprive the first one of her food, clothing, and marital rights. And then, okay, so then if the son marries somebody else other than marries another woman after the servant, he must still provide uh, the first woman that was the servant with food, clothing, and marital rights. And then if he does not provide her with these, then she's to go free without any payment of money. All right. So I think I understood it a little bit more the second time I read through it. Maybe you guys did too, maybe not. Let me know what you think. I don't know when this will stop because I don't believe. I mean, at some point, I don't think that servants are. Well, I don't know. Maybe it translates to you can work as like a butler or a cleaner or something. People still had servants, so maybe it does continue. Who knows? We'll only see if we continue reading, and that will happen tomorrow morning. So I will see you guys then.